Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, otherwise strange content. Today, we're returning to one of my very favorite series on this channel. It's probably the oldest series on this channel. It's the Beyond Belief series, where I cover episodes of Beyond Belief one at a time. If you don't know what Beyond Belief is, it is a show that aired in the late 90s, early 2000s, hosted by Jonathan Frakes primarily, and it was all about giving you 5 short stories. Some were real and some were fake, and you had to guess which was which, and you could never guess because the ones that they always said were real could not possibly have happened most of the time. Today we're looking at an episode from season 3. The short story that got requested over and over for this one is actually the last one of the episode, but as always, we're going to cover the whole episode. Feel free to play along. Let me know in the comments your guesses of what was real and what was fake and how you did. I'm always really bad at it, so, you know, let's just jump into it. I'd like to say it'll make more sense when we do, but it probably won't because the show is absolutely insane.
Observe. A perfectly shaped square. We said it's spinning, and now it's a perfectly shaped spinning square, but let's change our perspective.
I love the props that they give Jonathan Frakes. I want to know who on the team came up with that idea of like, hey, what if we give him a board, a spinning board, and then we cover it up with another piece of board?
Would you like another card?
Yeah, I guess so.
How about another one?
Sure.
Your total is now 17. Do you want to draw another card?
I don't know, you're putting so much pressure on me, Jonathan. I didn't sign up for this.
Observe a typical client of an underground card club.
Okay, I see him. He's probably important in some way, yes?
Our story is not about him.
Oh. Why are we talking about him?
I can't believe I won all this.
You know I love pointing out the trials and tribulations of extras in shows since I was one for a very long time. I love this because, 1,
I can't believe I won all this.
that's not what she said. 2, she probably didn't say anything. Most of the time, extras don't get to make any sound, so they had to go back in and dub over so that we could get that line. It was that important to them that they felt the need to go in and bring a voice actor in to dub over that scene. So our actual story is about this card dealer. He's usually really good at, you know, conning people more or less, making sure that the house always wins, as dealers often do. But this one guy, this soldier, just keeps winning over and over and over again, and it's pissing him off.
But it's like I just can't lose.
Everybody loses eventually.
How dare you win some money after you served our country? I'm pissed at you now. And then his boss, the casino owner, who has a goatee to show that he cannot be trusted, he comes over. I'm sorry, if you're watching and you happen to have a goatee, I'm sure it looks great on you. I don't mean to suggest otherwise. I'm gonna keep going. Anyway, this soldier that keeps winning, he's very clearly trying to make it look like the dealer is cheating, like he's rigging stuff for him because he only plays at his table. He tries to like slip him cash in front of his boss, and he's like, I've never even met you, dude. What are you doing? And if you're wondering why he's doing this to him,
There's so many people you ripped off.
I never ripped anybody off.
it's because apparently he blames him for scamming his parents out of money, which he doesn't remember doing.
You scammed hundreds of senior citizens out of their life savings, Dale.
Yeah, what the hell, Dale? Kit Boga's gonna kick your ass, Dale. Here's the kicker, though.
Dale Blanken had a past life as head of a crooked telemarketing business that swindled senior citizens.
Yep, this ghost soldier is holding him accountable for something he did in a past life. I really love it because usually, you know, the twists in these stories come at the very end and we're supposed to be really surprised, but I guess they couldn't figure out any way to really show that in a fluid way that made sense. So they just were like, oh yeah, him? Yeah, in a past life, he was a shady telemarketer.
The soldier's parents must have been 2 of his victims.
Go with it. It'll make sense later. It won't. It really won't. So he sets him up again. His boss threatens him.
What's that cash doing there?
I don't know.
So things are going well for him tonight. So he goes outside to take a drive, which I guess you can do when you're on work hours, I guess. The world of underground gambling is a wild frontier. But in the car, he finds a bunch of cash, which makes him look very guilty, along with the soldier's dog tags. His boss sees him.
Nobody cheats me.
No, Larry.
And then kills him over it.
I'm telling you, man, he played us both.
Dale Blanken died that night.
Jesus Christ, what a way to open the episode.
Private Bruce Shalto died 25 years ago in Vietnam.
Alright, that's story number 1. Ghost soldier gets revenge on man for conning his parents in a past life. Do with that what you will. See if that one's true.
How could the soldier have gotten into Dale's locked car without setting off the alarm?
That was on the list of questions I had, but it was, like, pretty low on the list.
Next, a cab driver takes a killer for a ride.
What's the right tip for services provided?
20%.
But what if the service was wonderful and the food was terrible?
Still 20%. You don't blame the waiter for the food being bad. It's not their fault. This line of questions leads us into the next story. It's about a cab driver who is pissed off that people aren't tipping better. Something about the shot, like the green screen shot of him taking turns, just makes me nauseous.
The times when business is slow, I catch up on my homework. It's one of the valuable skills I've picked up as a cabbie. Learning to read and drive at the same time.
What? My guy, no. That doesn't even come into play later. That's just like a novelty thing about him. He reads and drives at the same time. This feels like the lead up to an Audible sponsorship, but it's not. Yet. Call me Audible.
Most people are good tippers, but there are the ones that just give you the price of the meter.
So what does he do to level the field against people that don't tip him?
Thanks for nothing, cheapskate.
Cool. That'll teach them. His girlfriend does not see the humor in the insultator. That's what it's called.
No one deserves to be insulted like that.
And while they're arguing about it, he conveniently misses the police bulletin that's telling him about a escaped murderer from the county jail.
I think he might be traveling by cab. He's considered extremely dangerous.
So she randomly gives him, like, a good luck charm. It's the seal of St. Christopher, patron saint of travelers, for protection, which is super random. I don't know why she thought he needed protection. It sounds like he needed cash, but whatever. So he goes back to work. He uses the insultator again. He hurts this guy's feelings.
You're so cheap, you wouldn't even pay a compliment.
I don't feel good about this one.
Yeah, you are kind of being a pretty big asshole. I mean, I know it sucks when people don't tip properly, but damn. So he goes to see his girlfriend again for some reason, and when he comes back, mean Phil Collins is in his backseat. I'm just kidding. It's very obviously this guy that's the escaped murderer. And the protective medallion is hanging from his rearview mirror randomly.
Yeah, I'm taking political science.
Yeah, I think you should be taking driver's ed.
So this guy's an asshole, and then he doesn't tip him, so he tries to use the insultator on him, and all it gives is compliments.
It's been a pleasure serving you.
Like, really sarcastic sounding compliments, but compliments nonetheless. And then, boom, the cops arrest him and tell this kid that he's a murderer and that he's lucky. And he's like, man, patron St. Christopher really did save my ass back there, which maybe so, but I do think his girlfriend gets most of the credit in this situation.
When judging whether this story is true or false, you're on your own. You'll be getting no tips from us.
You know damn well I'm bad at guessing, Jonathan. There's cat fur in my drink. Ugh.
Next, a baker learns the recipe for murder.
Alright, so this next story is about a baker baking a murder cake. Basically, this guy works at a bakery, and his boss is a total douchebag.
Have it a Claire.
I don't want any Claire, Marty. You know I'm watching my weight.
Suit yourself.
Ugh, how annoying to watch your calorie count sometimes. Super weird.
I need a cake. I want you to create a masterpiece.
So his boss asks him to bake this giant cake for a party he's throwing for a guy that the baker knows is like a known crime boss.
Yeah, he was a punk, all right.
Don't waste food. So he's baking the cake. He's all by himself. He hears this weird sound coming from the oven, and when he looks in there, he sees that. Kind of reminds me of Harry Potter when Sirius was communicating through the flue system, but like not as fun as that was. So he tells his boss he can't finish the cake.
I saw the face of the devil in the oven.
Alright, dude, I know you're telling the truth, and that still sounds kind of sketchy to me. And how do you know it was the devil? Could be anybody. Then he goes home, and he sees in the newspaper the face that he saw in the oven.
That's the face I saw in the oven.
Yeah, turns out his boss murdered this guy, and that's what the cake was for. To celebrate murder. Isn't that charming?
Dom, it's Connie. She said there's smoke coming from the bakery.
And then he gets word of a fire at the bakery, so he runs over there, and what he finds is more than a little unpleasant.
There, baked inside the cake was Martin Duncan Jr.
Ugh. Homie got baked into his own cake. It serves him right, but damn. Alright, 3 down, 2 to go. What's the next one about?
Next, a young thief needs his lucky charm to avoid jail.
Oh yeah, the kid that robbed people.
It's no wonder the judges we have admired through history have been a perfect combination of strictness and compassion.
I honestly couldn't name that many judges. I'm just now realizing. I can name, like, the Supreme Court judges and Judge Judy. Are there more? Anyway, this next story is about a kid that likes to steal things.
You smashed my case and stole a gold watch right out of my store. There it is, right on your wrist.
You crazy, old man.
He's not a very nice individual, to be honest.
On the day of Troy's court hearing, Troy brought along 2 things. His lucky amulet, which was tucked under his shirt, and his mother.
I don't know if a mother counts as a thing. Like, in grade school, we learned about, like, person, place, or thing, and I don't think mother would go in the thing category. I remember one time, I must have been in, like, the 3rd grade, and I had a list of nouns that I had to, you know, organize into, like, person, place, or thing. Everybody had to do that. One of the things on my list was squirrel, and I felt wrong about putting it into the thing category, so I put it into the people category, and I got bad marks for that, because squirrels aren't people, according to, you know, the general education system in America. Anyway.
Your Honor, may I speak, please? I'm his mother.
You may.
Is that a thing? Do you get to just approach the bench if you're the perp's mother? That doesn't seem like law. So yeah, anyway, this kid's about to get the book thrown at him by this judge. The mom is like, no, wait, please don't send my son to prison. I can explain. And then after a very lengthy monologue about what a good kid he is, she starts arguing that the watch he stole was actually his.
I was planning on surprising him with it on his 18th birthday.
What? How is that just now coming out? You think she would have said something before now. But the judge just takes her word for it without asking for any kind of proof or anything. And so this kid's about to get off scot-free.
Troy felt he was off the hook thanks to his mother's heartfelt plea, and of course, his lucky amulet.
But then you remember his lucky amulet? Apparently it's not that lucky. It just flies off his neck and goes bouncing away from him across the courtroom. And then the judge gets a hold of it, takes one look at it, and is like,
This gold amulet was a gift from me to my wife. It was ripped off her neck 2 weeks ago by a young assailant who I now realize fits your description.
very awkward. So yeah, because of that medallion, the judge recuses himself, but not before bringing new charges that actually do stick, and lands this kid in prison for assaulting his wife.
Troy Crane was found guilty of felony assault and robbery. He's now serving out his sentence at the Youth Authority Farm in Bozeman, Montana. His mother visits him every week.
I didn't realize medallions could testify in open court, but I'm glad they can.
Is this story based on an actual event?
Oh, don't say it. No, don't say it. Don't.
Or are we just pulling your chain?
Oh, god damn it. Okay, last story, and then we get to find out which ones were real and fake, according to the writers of the show.
Next, a curse turns a beautiful woman ugly.
This is the story that got this episode requested multiple times. I've been meaning to cover this one for a while. And brace yourself, because it is nightmare fuel.
As a cosmetic surgeon, I don't usually visit patients at home.
So this story is about a lady who is trying to get plastic surgery.
Is this you?
It used to be. But that person doesn't exist anymore.
So yeah, they won't let us see her face until the end, but basically she tells this plastic surgeon the story of how she went to get her makeup done, and she was really rude to the lady doing her makeup, and she was kind of just a rude person all around.
My eyes are among my best features. They are a mirror to one's soul.
Really?
I think my entire face is a mirror to my soul.
I don't think that's how that works. Oh, maybe I should have said this before, but mild trigger warning if you deal with body image, if that's triggering for you. This is quite an episode. I'll get into it more in a minute, but just be aware. Anyway, she hates the makeup.
You're totally inept. You wasted my time. You expect me to waste more time while you attempt to fix this mess?
She goes to storm out of the salon, and then the beautician curses her.
I curse you with the mirror of your soul.
So that's a thing, and then she goes home because she's expecting her boyfriend to propose to her.
Jossie, I've been thinking about our marriage plans.
Who talks like that? I've been thinking about our marriage plans. Romantic choice of words.
I'm sure I'll make the cover of Summer Bride magazine.
And I want to call it off.
Oh no. But how is she gonna make the cover of Summer Bridal magazine? So she gets dumped because even her boyfriend thinks that she's kind of a terrible person. And then she sees herself in the mirror and starts having a panic attack over how she looks.
I'm hideous!
So she calls the salon.
This is Jocelyn Marshall. Look, I'm sorry about all the terrible things I said, but Nicole, you have to remove this curse.
Can you imagine finding that message on an answering machine? Like, do you think Nicole's coworkers were confused, or does she have a reputation for doing this? Were they just like, yeah, Nicole? Yeah, you got another one. Another one of your curse victims is upset. You better do something. So then the doctor takes a look at her face, and plot twist.
Sorry, but there's nothing I can see that can be done for you.
Brace yourself for the nightmare fuel.
I'm horrible. Why can't you help me?
Yeah, so she looks fine. She's just seeing herself as ugly because she's been an ugly person on the inside. Now, here's why I gave a mild trigger warning. I know the point of this story is that, you know, she was behaving badly, so she got cursed to see herself as, you know, her beauty on the inside. It's a story of inner beauty versus outer beauty. But watching this for the first time as somebody who's definitely dealt with body image issues and, you know, some issues with body dysmorphia, things like that, I definitely feel like this is a possible episode, not because of the whole curse thing, but just because it's definitely beyond plausible that some people, you know, don't understand that they're pretty and they see themselves not as they are because of their anxieties about being pretty. I know that's not what they were going for, but thinking of it that way, it is possible, so calling it like I see it.
Now it's time to look back at our stories and find out which are inspired by actual events and which are works of fiction.
Alright guys, you have your guesses written down? Time to figure out which one of these are true and which ones are not so true.
Who are you? What's your game?
You're the one with the games, Dale.
This one can't be true, but it's one of those that I feel like they want you to believe is true, so I feel like they're gonna say it's true.
If you thought this story of a son's revenge was true, we gave you a raw deal. It's a hoax.
Ah, see, I shouldn't have second-guessed myself. I was right. It couldn't have happened.
How about the story of the taxi driver who decided to insult his cheap customers, but was saved by a twist of fate?
This one could have potentially been true. You know, at the core, it's just a story about a cabbie giving a murderer a lift and then not getting murdered by them, so I'll say true.
If you thought this one was based on an actual event, we took you for a ride. This one is absolute fiction.
Damn it.
The devil's in the oven. Really? Is that a fact?
Okay, this one is an absolutely ridiculous story, but I don't know that they would do 3 fictions in a row. I can't remember if they've ever done that before. I'm gonna say true. I'm just gonna keep guessing true until we get one that's true.
Did our research show this was inspired by an actual event? Yes, it did. A similar event happened in the Chicagoland area.
Woo! Yes! Wait, that means somebody got baked into a cake. I rescind that a little bit.
The story of the first-time offender who was hiding his true criminal nature from the judge. What was your verdict on this one?
This one could have totally happened, but that usually means they say it's false, so let's say fiction. Let's spice things up a little bit.
If you thought this one was a figment of our writer's imagination, you were right. It never happened.
See? The ones that could have totally happened, they always say didn't happen.
There's nothing I can see that can be done for you.
Yeah, I think this one could totally be true.
This story of a tortured soul is based on an actual experience that happened near the Florida Gulf Stream area.
See?
Hi. My camera stopped recording right as I was trying to end the video, so we are going to do this. I don't know why it says it's December 12th right now. It's not. It's January something, but that's the episode. Let me know how you did in the comments section. It's always weird to me how, like, some of these can definitely be true if you throw out, like, the actual premise of what it's supposed to be about and you just look at, like, the facts, and then other times they're like, oh, this thing that you know in your heart of hearts could never happen? It happened, according to research. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Anything and everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. See you in the next one. Bye.